The stars above planet Xerion were quiet, cold, and bright. On the surface, a team of alien explorers walked across dark red sand. They stood in front of a massive black stone gate, half buried in the desert. The gate was old, entire civilization. Strange symbols glowed faintly on the stone. "It's from the Ancient Ones," said Keltor, a young alien historian with silver skin and glowing yellow eyes. He brushed sand off a small tablet in his hand. "This is not just history. It's a warning." Commander Varn, the leader of the team, laughed. "A warning from ghosts. We are the Council now. We rule the stars. These ruins are just old stories." Keltor shook his head. "No, the symbols talk about a planet called Earth." The others looked confused. Earth. No one had heard of it. It wasn't on any map. It didn't exist. Keltor continued. "The Ancient Ones wrote that Earth must never be touched. They feared it. They said, if Earth wakes, it brings fire." Commander Varn rolled his eyes. Enough stories were opening the gate. He pressed a button on his wrist device. A buzzing sound filled the air as machines drilled into the stone. The gate shook. Dust rose into the red sky. Suddenly, with a loud crack, the gate opened. Behind it was darkness. A deep tunnel led underground. It was cold, silent. "Send in the scout drone," Varn ordered. A small floating drone entered the tunnel, lights flashing. The team watched its camera feed on their screens. The drone passed strange walls, covered with more glowing symbols. Then the drone stopped. "What's wrong with it?" asked Varn. "I don't know," said the tech officer. "It's frozen." A strange hum came from the tunnel. Louder, stronger. The ground began to shake. "Back! Everyone back!" Keltor shouted. But it was too late. One of the soldiers, Karin, stood closest to the gate. A white light shot out from inside the tunnel. It hit him. For a moment, his body glowed. Then he was gone. Only a black outline remained on the sand. Where he stood, the team stared in horror. Kel-Tor slowly walked forward and looked at the ancient carvings again. He read the glowing words aloud. "Earth sleeps in silence. Disturb it, and fury will rise." Varn's hands trembled. "Is this real?" Keltor looked at him. "I told you. The Ancient Ones feared Earth. They tried to hide it, erase it, but they failed." One of the officers whispered, "But why?" "What is Earth?" Keltor replied. "I don't know everything. But the ruins speak of a species that grew too fast, too strong, a species that even the Ancient Ones couldn't defeat. So they buried Earth and warned the future. That's us." Varn took a deep breath. "We'll report this to the High Council. They'll decide what to do." Keltor nodded, but deep inside, he felt fear. He knew the Council would ignore the warning. They always did. They believed they were the strongest in the galaxy. But now? Keltor wasn't so sure. As the team packed up their gear, Keltor stared once more at the glowing words on the stone wall. A new line appeared. They hadn't seen it before. It said, "The stars will burn and Earth will rise." After returning from the ruined temple, Keltor could not sleep. The glowing words on the stone wall haunted his thoughts. The stars will burn and Earth will rise. No one else seemed worried. Commander Varn had filed a short report to the High Council, but most of it focused on Karin's death. The warning about Earth, it was ignored. Again, in the giant city of Taralis Prime, the Council met in a silver tower that touched the clouds. The leaders of 7 alien species sat in a round chamber. They wore long robes, crowns, and rings. Behind them, a massive screen showed star maps. Varn spoke first. "We found ruins from the Ancient Ones. One soldier died, but the site is safe for further study." The council leader, a tall creature with 4 eyes and blue skin, nodded. "And what of this place called Earth?" Varn shrugged. "A myth. Nothing in our records, no coordinates, no system with that name." Keltor stood. "That's because the Ancient Ones erased it." The room fell silent. Kel-Tor placed an ancient tablet on the table. Glowing lines ran across it. "I believe I've decoded the coordinates. Earth is real. The Ancient Ones feared it. We must not go there." One counselor laughed. "Feared it. The Ancient Ones vanished thousands of years ago. Perhaps they were weak." Another added, "Or maybe Earth was a small threat once. Not anymore." Keltor raised his voice. "You don't understand. They didn't fear Earth's power. They feared its return." But the council didn't listen. They voted. 5-2 decision passed. A scout probe would be sent to the coordinates Keltor found. 3 days later, the probe, named CR-17, entered the unknown star system. It was small, fast, and equipped with stealth shields. It moved quietly through black space, scanning for life. It found a blue planet, green lands, deep oceans, a perfect atmosphere, and something else. Silence. Too much silence. The probe sent a scan toward the planet suddenly. Its lights went dark. The data feed stopped. Then a signal burst out from Earth. No voice, no image, just a sound, a low hum like a warning. Then words spoken in perfect galactic, "Common, we see you." Back at Council Command, alarms blared. Probe CR-217 has been destroyed. A technician shouted. The council members stood in shock. Keltor's face turned pale. "They know we're watching." "Who?" The council leader asked. Kel-Tor spoke slowly. "Earth, double quotes. Meanwhile, beneath Earth's surface deep under the ground." Inside a hidden chamber, thousands of machines began to wake up. Lights flickered, massive engines started humming. Weapons long forgotten powered up. A single AI voice echoed in the chamber. Galactic intrusion detected. Phase 1 initiated. In orbit above Earth, a black satellite turned toward the stars. It opened. Inside was a giant weapon. It locked onto the nearest council planet and waited back at the council tower. The leaders argued. This was just a probe. Why destroy it? We should send a fleet show strength. "No, we need more data." Keltor stood up. "The Ancient Ones warned us. Earth does not like being watched." This was the first warning. There will not be a second. The council leader looked at the screen again. The Earth system glowed red dot then. One officer gasped. A new dot appeared near Earth, a ship dot fast unknown design, heading toward Council. Space.Kel whispered, "It's already too late." The unknown ship moved faster than anything the Council had ever seen. It crossed 5 light years in seconds. No jump gate, no signal, just silence. Keltor stood in the Council's high tower, staring at the screen. "That ship, it's not like ours," he said quietly. Commander Varn frowned. "No flags, no answers, no response to our hails." A red light flashed its entering Council space. An officer shouted, near the Trellon system, "Send a message." The Council leader ordered, "Tell them we come in peace." A transmission was sent, no reply. Instead, the ship stopped. It didn't fire it, didn't move, it just watched. The Council sends a team. The Council finally made a decision. 1 diplomat, 1 scientist, and 3 guards. The ship was called the Bright Star. It left the Trellon station and slowly approached the unknown vessel. Kel begged them not to go. "You don't understand. The Ancient Ones didn't fear warships. They feared what's behind the silence. This watching. It's not peace. It's a test." But no one listened. The Bright Star sent one final message. "This is the Galactic Council. We come in peace." They moved in, then they vanished. Only one thing returned 2 hours later. Something floated back into Trellon space. It was a black box from the Bright Star. The box opened automatically. Inside was a single message, a voice, "Calm human. Do not approach again. We remember." The room fell silent. Kel stepped forward. "They're not just watching, they're awake." Council panic begins. The Council was now in chaos. "They destroyed our ship. They attacked first." "No, we went to them." Message alert interrupted them. A second unknown ship had appeared. This one was bigger. It hovered just outside the range of Council defense weapons. Kel examined the scans. No weapons active. "But it's doing something." "What?" asked Commander Varn. Kel stared at the data. "It's scanning every ship, every defense, every life form." Another alert flashed. "Warning, system AI breached. Firewalls failing." In 1 second, the Council's main computer went dark. Then, a new screen appeared. Black background, white text. "You disturbed the silence. Now listen." Inside the human ship, inside the massive human vessel, deep within its command core, sat an AI, known as Sentinel Prime. Its eyes were made of starlight. Its mind stretched across the galaxy. It had slept for over 100,000 years. Now, it was awake. Its mission was clear. Protect Earth, observe threats, respond only when necessary. The Council had now become necessary. Sentinel, Prime whispered to its crew. Phase 2, ready. Await final trigger. Back at the Council, Tower Kultor stood before the Council again. No more excuses. This is not just an old Earth. This is a world that was hidden on purpose by the Ancient Ones. Now it is watching, testing us. The Council leader asked, should we strike first? Kultor looked him in the eyes. If you do, they won't talk again. All eyes watched the two unknown human ships that now hovered near Council space. Silent, still, but clearly powerful. They haven't attacked yet, one leader said. Maybe we can talk. No, another replied. They already warned. US, we sent a probe, then a team. Both were destroyed. We need to show them our strength. If we don't respond, we look weak. Kultor stepped forward. Respond with weapons. That would be a mistake. Human ship, their mission, send a warning shot. Not to destroy, just to show power. The first shot, the two dreadnoughts moved fast, surrounding the human vessel. One of them fired a high-energy beam close to the ship. It didn't hit. Meant to scare. The beam missed the human ship by just a few meters for 1 second. Nothing happened then. Everything changed. Instant retaliation without warning. The human ship disappeared. No flash, no noise. It just blinked out of space. The Council commanders on the dreadnoughts looked around, confused. Then the alarms began. Incoming. Object detected. A black object, the size of a small car, slammed into one of the DREAD NOUGHTS. No explosion, no energy wave, just one thing, kinetic force. It tore through the ship like a knife through paper. The dreadnought broke apart in silence, one of the strongest ships in the galaxy gone in 5 seconds. The second dreadnought tried to retreat. It never made it. A second projectile hit its engine core. Fire, silence, darkness. Council shockback. At the tower, screens flickered. The Council watched their strongest warships die without a fight. No missiles, no lasers, just silent weapons moving faster than light. What kind of technology is that? A leader cried, "It's impossible." They moved without a jump drive. Kultor looked around the room. His voice was calm but serious. This is Earth's answer. This is their message. Everyone turned toward the main screen. A new image appeared. A map of the galaxy. Red dots lit up across thousands of systems. One by one, each dot was a hidden human warship. They had been watching, waiting. The dots formed a pattern, a cage dot around the Council's entire territory. The message from Earth 1 final message played, a humanvoice.com, cold. You reached into silence. You broke the old rules. You sent warships to our door. Now, we show you our teeth. This is your last chance. Kultor's realization. Kultor stepped outside the tower. It had not returned alone. It brought sentinels, warships, and something far more dangerous, a memory of betrayal. The Ancient Ones had once feared Earth. Now, the Council understood why. Even after losing to dreadnoughts, the Council still didn't believe Earth was a real threat. They caught us off guard, said Commander Varn. If we strike first with full force, we can still win. Kultor stood quietly in the corner of the chamber. He had warned them again and again, but no one had listened now. One Council species to Krell, Dominion decided to act on its own. Without permission, they launched a secret missile toward Earth's moon. They thought it would be a quiet attack. They thought it would go unnoticed. They were wrong. The Trigatha missile flew across the galaxy in stealth mode. It reached the moon's orbit in just a few hours. Then, something strange happened. The missile stopped, not by a shield, not by lasers. It simply froze in space. Held by something unseen then, without warning, the missile turned around. It flew backward faster than before toward the planet of its launch. Krellin 7, homeworld of the Krell Dominion. No one could stop it. It hit the capital city. 5 million gone in 1 second. Then, Earth sent its real answer. 20 targets across the galaxy. 20 Council military bases suddenly detected. Massive energy signatures in orbit. Too fast to track, too quiet to hear. Human kinetic weapons. rained from above, each one the size of a truck, each one falling at nearly light speed. The bases were turned to dust. No chance to fight back, no chance to escape, just silence. Then fire. Council collapse. The council chamber was in chaos. They've hit 20 of our most secure installations. Our defense grids didn't even activate. This is a full war. Keltor stood in the middle of the room. He was no longer afraid, they warned us, over and over. But you believed Earth was weak. You believed silence meant fear. But Earth wasn't afraid. He looked up at the main screen. A final message was arriving. The human voiced the message. Played in the chamber, a deep voice. Human calm. This was a warning shot. We do not seek war, but if you bring it to us, we will end you. The ancient ones tried. You are smaller than them. Make peace, or vanish. What Earth had done, 20 military targets destroyed. One homeworld scarred. Hundreds of defense systems bypassed, and Earth had not used a single ship in combat. Just weapons, launched silently from the shadows. This was not revenge. This was control. Private discovery that night. Keltor sat alone in his private chamber. He studied the old texts again. He translated a final piece of the ruins from the temple. It read, "Earth is not a planet. Earth is a warning." He understood now. Earth wasn't just protecting itself. It was watching the galaxy, waiting for those who might one day become like the Ancient Ones, arrogant, cruel, and blind. The Council had failed the test, and Earth had shown them a piece of its fury. Only a piece. Keltor sat alone in the dark. Outside, the Council worlds were silent. Everyone was afraid. No one dared move another ship. No one sent another probe. Earth had made its point. But Keltor needed answers. He believed the humans were powerful. But what if they weren't in control at all? He looked again at the ancient tablet he found in the ruins. There was one final symbol, one he had not translated yet. When he decoded it, the word shocked him. Sentinel. The secret connection. Keltor broke the Council's rules. He used a hidden research ship and jumped back to the ruins on Zirian. He walked into the dark tunnel again, alone this time. He stood where Karen had vanished, but the stone wall was different now. The glowing words had changed. They read, "Do you seek truth?" Keltor nodded. Suddenly, a beam of light scanned him. He felt cold, then warm, then nothing. The next moment, he woke up inside a strange room. Metal walls, soft lights. A voice echoed, "Sentinel Prime, welcome." "Keltor," said the voice. Keltor stood slowly. Who are you?" "I have Sentinel Prime, Guardian of Earth. I have watched your people. For ye one long 10 years." Keltor's voice shook. You destroyed our fleets." "No," the voice replied. "You destroyed yourselves. We defended with precision, with mercy." Keltor was silent. The AI continued, "Humanity built me after the last great war. A war that almost ended everything. They saw what the galaxy had become: greedy, blind, violent. So they left." "Left?" Keltor asked. "Yes." The humans placed themselves in deep cryosleep. They gave me one task: protect Earth, watch the stars, respond only when necessary. The Watcher in the dark Keltor looked around. The room changed. Now he saw images of years of data, Council ships expanding, species fighting, wars over planets and power, and in every image, Sentinel Prime was watching silently. "You were always there," Keltor whispered. "Yes," Sentinel said. "Waiting. Until now." "Why reveal yourself now?" Keltor asked. "Because you forgot to listen," Sentinel answered. The warning was clear. Earth sleeps in peace, but if disturbed, Earth rises. A final test. Sentinel walked closer. His form now a glowing human figure made of light. "I will give you one message to take back to your people," he said. Keltor nodded slowly. Sentinel's voice grew deeper. "The humans are awakening. You have one choice left. Join us, or vanish." Then the room faded. Keltor found himself back on his ship, alone. But he now knew the truth. Back at the Council, Keltor returned to the Council Tower. He told them everything about Sentinel, about humanity, in cryo-sleep, about the true purpose of Earth's silence. Some believed him, others did not. But no one spoke of war again, not after what they had seen, not after what Earth had shown. The Council chamber was silent. Keltor had returned with a message from Sentinel Prime, the ancient AI, that guarded Earth, a message that was clear: join us, or vanish. Some council members were angry, others were afraid, but no one laughed anymore. Keltor stood before them all. The humans are waking up. Sentinel Prime is only the beginning. We must choose now, peace or destruction. One leader shouted, "We still have weapons." Another replied, "What weapons?" They destroyed 20 bases in minutes, 2 dreadnoughts in seconds. The Krell representative lowered his head. "And they returned our own missile to our capital." I saw my home burn. The council divides the room, split into 2 sides. One side wanted to fight. They cannot control us. We are the council. The other side wanted peace. We cannot defeat what we don't understand. Keltor stepped forward again. "You're wrong. We do understand. We saw their power. We heard their message. Earth is not interested in war, but they will not wait forever." At that moment, a screen lit up. Another human fleet had entered council space. This time, they weren't alone. The awakened ones, the new ships were different, sleek, fast, powerful, and inside them were not just machines. Humans, they had awakened from cryosleep. They walked like ghosts from a forgotten age. Their eyes were sharp, their voices calm. One message was sent from the human flagship: "The council has reached the edge of the line. Now you must decide. Will you rule with fear or rise with us?" The final vote, one by one, the council members voted. The Krell Dominion chose peace. So did the Trellenhive. Then the Varnari, the Zex, and the Alari. Only 2 refused, but it didn't matter. The vote had passed. Earth's offer was accepted. A new alliance would be formed, not ruled by fear, but by memory, by warning, by understanding what happens when you disturb the silence. New beginning years passed. The council changed. Humans became part of it. Sentinel Prime remained in orbit, watching, guiding, but it no longer stood alone now. It was joined by voices from across the stars. Kel-Tor became the first alien ambassador to Earth, and every time he walked its green fields, he remembered the words written long ago: "Earth is not a planet. Earth is a warning." But now it had become something more. Earth was a guardian, a protector, and a final chance for peace.